All right, thank you for joining us today for Butts, Beagles, and Babies. So today we're going to be talking about doing free content via social media and scheduling that content. So I know I've talked about our calendar in the past, but we're going to rely heavily on that. We'll also be using Facebook. We'll be using YapStack, which some of you may remember as InStock Social. And then we'll also be talking about Breakthrough Broker. So those are a couple different sites that we'll be using today if you want to go ahead and pull those up. We're going to get started in Canva. So a few things that I want to show you with Canva. Of course, you know that you can do any kind of search through the search bar. So say we were wanting to prepare ourselves for Memorial Day. That is an upcoming holiday in this moment. So why don't we go ahead and work on getting that created? So I'm going to make sure I'm in templates. I was just playing around in my projects. So make sure you're in templates and you can just type in the words Memorial Day. And if I press search, it's going to give me a bunch of different options. Now, when you're looking at all of these templates, just remember that the money symbol means that there is some element in this that has paid images. So something in this template is going to require typically $1. So if you want to still use that, pay $1, download it, move on with your life, go for it. This one right here is going to be free. It doesn't have any little symbol here to indicate that there's going to be some sort of payment required to use this template. And then this one right here says Pro, so you would have to access, you would have to upgrade rather to get this one. And as always, I always teach out of a free version. I like keeping fixed costs down, especially in a commission-based only career. So if you want to have the Pro account, then that is great. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and you can also access arguably some of the prettier content, but at the same time, you know, this suits its job right here as well. So we're going to kind of click through a few of these as well. But while we're on this front page, I want to point out some other little notes as you're going through. This one is obviously an Instagram post. This one says Facebook post over here. You can see that the sizes or the dimensions are different between some of these. So just know that sometimes when you post, typically going onto Facebook, dimensions that are not meant for Facebook, going to Facebook, it will create little bands around. It will create some sort of banner or border to create it or to make it the size that you want it to be. Instagram does have a habit of cropping things, just so you're aware. Now, if you wanted to also then do maybe a story, you can look for those. This looks like a little mobile video. That's kind of fun. If you hold over any videos, they will play for you so you can see what you're getting with that. And then also, if you know specifically what you want, then you can also filter it. So I could say category, what kind do I want a video? And then filters here. Do I want subject, topic, where's our price, free? So if you want to go ahead and only filter it so you're looking at just the free content, you can do that. And then social media, you can drop these down and get to specific things. So if you know that you want a Facebook story, you can do that. If you want an Instagram story, LinkedIn video ad, whatever those are. So maybe we click Instagram story and apply. Now I have my Instagram stories. Okay. So let's come over to maybe this one here. This one's free. So I'm going to click into this and I'm going to say customize this template. All right, so some of the things that you can do with this are, of course, you can change any of this if you want to change the wording. Remember and honor, maybe I want to make a second thing here. All I did was click Control-C, Control-Z, or V rather, just copy and paste. You can also do that by clicking this here. So if you click into the item and then you click this, it'll duplicate. There are different things that you can do as well if you wanted to center it using something other than the guidelines here. So if I move this around, it kind of gives me all of these little centers. Right now it's telling me when I had it like that, it's telling me that 63, you can see that my spacing is even between the various elements on the page. You can see I'm lined up to that center or to that side line there, but I'm also centered on the page. This shows that spacing up there. 73 is showing the spacing between the stars and the top of memorial. Personally, I like the 63. I think that looks a little more even. So if I were going to add something else, I'd probably do that. And whenever you're adding in a different element, you can see I have two different fonts. If you want to go back and forth between those fonts, you can select the one that you want to change, drop this down. You can see here, document fonts. So I'm able to maybe replicate this one here and go back and forth between those. Maybe I want to use the recommended of still saying in this Nord. See how it's got Nord as the one that's on here, but now it's recommending that maybe I use light or bold. That's helpful, right? So maybe I click that I want the light version. Maybe I want the bold version. But I'm going to come back to this lobster. And now I'm in all caps, and that's kind of weird. So I don't think that this looks good in all caps. So I'm going to click this button here. You can see it's selected as uppercase. If I select that, turn it off. Oh, well, someone still put all caps on here. Hold on, let me collect all of those. Turn it on, turn it off. Yeah, it's just that it's all uppercase. But if I wanted to do remember and honor, and now I want it to be uppercase, lowercase. So you can take anything and change it to all uppercase, all lowercase without having to retype it each time. So maybe I want this to say, we're going to not go for D4 compliance in this moment, right? I'm just going to put my name, Realtor. So here, I've got my little thing here. Truthfully, I find this a little bit tacky if you just slap your name on something. So just be mindful of, what you're creating, but we're just going to put our name on there. And I want to zoom in and show you that I don't love how the spacing looks on this. So see this right here, all of my cursive is connected. Right here, this was intentionally kind of spanned out. And now here, when I duplicated this one here, my spacing isn't quite right. So I want to show you a couple different ways that you could fix that. One way is if you wanted to grab this guy here and you click this little painting tool, copy style. So if I copy that and then I put it on this, it's going to make this exactly the same as the one above. So it's going to be arguably way too big, but at least my spacing is correct. And now I can change the sizing back down to whatever I want it to be. So let's put it back to around 33. So now my spacing is how I probably would prefer it. But another way that you can get to the same general result is you can click this guy here and do this button here, which says spacing. So you have, this is your alignment. This is if you want bullets or numbers, and then this is your spacing. So I'm going to click spacing and you can see that my letter spacing is way off. So if I wanted to splay it out even further, I can do that. If I wanted to make it ultra compressed and illegible, struggling, y'all, I've only had one cup. So here, this one looks good, 81. I'm still not fully connected. Maybe that's 69, 50, 47, somewhere in there looks a little better to me. This one, out of curiosity, is at 0. This one here, I think I like having it a little bit more spaced out. You can kind of play around with it. And again, if I wanted to span this one out even further, I can do that. Just kind of makes it a little bit clearer, bolder, however you want to do that. All right, so another thing though, I have an Instagram story. I can download this and I'm going to click download here. PNG is what you're going to want. I personally do not use JPEG very often. PNG is going to allow you to download it in the best, highest resolution whenever you're putting it onto social media. Obviously PDF, these ones would be if you were printing something, that would be a very good option. And then you have this video option, which I want to show you in just a second. Right now it's saying PNG. However, there's this animate button over here. So if I wanted to actually make this into a video, I can do that because video is actually going to be your highest seen kind of algorithm wise post that you can do. Pictures are after that, and then just text is after that. So just remember that anytime you're creating content, it's good to have a mix of all of them, but really your video is going to get you the most, basically it puts you in front of the most audience, the largest audience, the way the algorithms for most social media networks work. So video is great. And then second would be picture. I don't like to do a lot without having a picture involved. That's why you'll see a lot of times I'll throw in a GIF. Can you show how to duplicate the slide design, but with a different style? I sure can do that. Absolutely. Thank you, Deja. So let me show you this first though. So if I click this animate button, you see this section here? Let's think fast rather than trying to really, we're not reinventing the wheel here. So I love this combination portion. If I hover over this, it throws everything in, right? That one's kind of fun. I like that one. And so I can kind of go through and see that one actually I like the most. And that one, maybe for more of maybe a different holiday, I would do this one. Party, and then chill. Okay, so what if I wanted to do 2 items at the same time? Maybe I want, I'm gonna take this guy out. Maybe I want these 2 to come in at the same time. All I have to do is group those. So I've highlighted the 2, I've right-clicked, and I'm going to click group. Now, when I come back over here to animate, those 2 guys come in at the same time. Did you see that? So watch the top, they come in at the same time and the bottom comes in separately. There you go. So I'll show you an example of when I've used that to kind of tie elements together that maybe were layered on top of each other to create a different image in itself. The example being that I made a donut one for National Donut Day. And it was like the donut and the sprinkles, but they came in separately. And I didn't want that. I wanted it to all come in at the same time because it's one whole donut. And so I grouped those together. So if I want to ungroup these, say I didn't like that, I'm just going to highlight them again, right click, and I'm going to say ungroup. So now they're individual again. Now, if I wanted only the letters to come in on their own time, I'm going to highlight just the words and I can click animate again. And it's only going to do that. So that it's only doing the text. Everything else is stationary. So I personally really like the animate all, and I'm going to use this one here. I think that looks great, corporate. And then you can either do both, which means on entry and exit, it's going to do it. See how it wipes away, or I can do it just on exit where it's there and then it just wipes away at the end. I like doing both because if it plays on a loop, then everything comes in, it's there, it comes off, and then it comes in again, right? So if it's on a loop, this makes the most sense having it on both. So I've done that. And now you can see it's automatically put 5 seconds. And when I come here to share, it's got me downloading it as a video. So now I can download that. Okay. So 5 seconds, share, download. Here's my MP4 download. And now when I play it, it'll look like that, right? So here is a good little story for you. I'm actually going to keep that one. So Deja had asked though, what if I wanted to change the style? So what you can do is click this here, duplicate page. So now I've got a second page. So you see page 1, page 2. There's this bar over here on the side. Has different things here. So I'm going to come over to styles. Sometimes it's here. I think it can be on your branding, but it was actually over here on styles here. And you can change the different templates. So maybe I want to change the colors. I can do that. Bold. Updated all of those. And within these, if I click it multiple times, you see how there's a shuffle button, kind of like what you would see with music. This shuffles those same colors into different variations. So you see how it's not changing the actual image here, right? It's not changing these because these are set images, but it is changing some of the other stuff, right? It's changing the confetti because you can see the confetti has this ability to change. So maybe something that doesn't have such set colors, right? Obviously, Memorial Day, we're really thinking red, white, and blue, but other holidays, you could change this. And you see how it's also changing your fonts. It kind of gives you a whole different feel. All right, so great question. And then you would just do the same thing. I love using the styles for when you are creating different, you're creating, one second, different versions of the same thing. So for example, maybe you have something like under contract and you have, you want to change it so that you can tell easily that it's a different one than the last one. So you would just come in here, change the picture, which I'll show you how to do, and then you can click on any of these. And these are super fun. I mean, some of them are really bright, happy colors. So I'm going to go back out of this though. Any questions on that so far?
I have a question. It was, I get the duplicate page part, but I thought at one point you had taught us how to make like 10 or 20 slides that was based off the same design.
Yep. So you can do. So there, I'd probably show that in a different day, or if I have time, I'll throw that in at the end. There is a way to take different information and throw it into a CSV, and then you put it into Canva, and it actually creates multiples of the same slide. Like it would be the same template, but say you grabbed 5 or 10 different real estate quotes, for example. And Deja, that's a really good point. If I have time, I'll show you how to do that at the end. But I could also do as Loom another day and throw that on our Facebook page. But basically, you take a CSV and you can have a lot of different real estate quotes or whatever you want it to be. Maybe you do this with your reviews from Google. Take those, put them all into an Excel file or a CSV, and you upload it into the system. And I'll show you how to, it actually takes one template and just creates reviews all at one time or quotes all at one time, and kind of varies all those different styles. So yes, that's a great point and something I will definitely show you here soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But the loom will be good too. Either way, because I know you had taught it, but I couldn't figure out how to do it again.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do a loom on that specifically. That way it's just a 5-minute quick chunk of, how to knock that out really quickly. That's a great point. So
Okay,
I want
thank
to
you.
come back. Yeah, I want to come back. Here is, there I've made a couple here recently. Let's see. So this one here, this was Father's Day. This is actually for my Civic League. So you can see I threw the email on there. But this one here, when I click this little play button, you can see that's what it looks like when I load it into the system. And if I wanted to change the styles here, I could throw in different ones and it changes everything. So this one's just a little bit easier to see the differences of. But say we were going to do Memorial Day. I'm going to show you what it would look like to do one of the paid versions and how you can still easily use those if you do like them, and just swap out those paid elements. So here's one here. Let's click this one. All right, so here it looks like it's just namely this background. Everything else, this guy here, the lettering, all of this looks like it's free because it doesn't have this watermark. So whenever you see the Canva and this watermark, it will download that way. If you were to try and share this right now, it's going to give you options when I click download. And it says, hey, this is going to cost you, unless you want to buy the premium version. You can click these ellipses, and then here are your options. Purchase pro content license, $1, or download a free watermarked draft. So whenever I do a free watermark draft, that's usually when I'm going to test something and I don't want to pay for it just yet. Otherwise, I would click the $1 and go ahead and download. But if I didn't want to do that and I like this template otherwise, I can see, you can see I've already played around with this one. But I'm going to type in American flag. And it has graphics, photos, videos. I'm going to do photos. And I'm going to look for anything that doesn't have a pro crown on it or a paid symbol. So I'm having to kind of scroll a little bit, but here's one here. So if I click this one and I drag it over, it just replaces that one as the other one is. So any filters that one has on it are going to be applied to this one. The spacing, the cropping, all of that just gets applied automatically. Maybe I want this one here. My honey is telling me that they found rewards, so I'll click that. You can see you can hover over and it just puts that in there. All right. So now I could go ahead, if I wanted to make any additional changes, I could crop to move this guy over back and forth. Or if I wanted to edit the image and do any kind of filters on it. So, all right.
So you can just change an element from the paid version and then you don't have to pay for it anymore?
Nope, so that one that I grabbed happened to be free. So it did not have a paid. Yeah, so all I did is I grabbed a new image and I swapped it out for what the paid image would have been. And then yes, I can use that template for free because I've taken the paid element out of it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So anytime there's, now the one you can't do is if it has the crown symbol, because that whole template is locked. But if it has the money symbol, then yes, it's got some sort of element that I'll be able to change out. So again, this one had the little money symbol. And I'll just do the same thing. I'll click elements. And my most recent search is probably going to be up here. So maybe I just grab this one because I know this one's free. And I'm going to hover over and see again, you see how the orientation of it as it's over here is landscape. But when I pull it over here, it switches to the same orientation. So it's now portrait. You see how it's kind of like cut it off. Now, if I wanted to crop it, oh, it does have a landscape. If I wanted to change it, you see how I can change the orientation like that. I thought it had already done that, but so I could crop it like that and move it around, but then also the filter was automatically applied. If I wanted to take that filter off of this one, I would just click edit image and see all, and I would just say none. Epic, festive, afterglow. Oh, I kind of like that one. There you go. So yes, and now if I try to download, because I've swapped out that paid element, it is now free. So now you've seen how to search for one, but what if you don't have an easily identifiable holiday coming up? What can we create some quick content for? Well, if you come over to the main screen here and you click all apps here, see this content calendar? Even though there is a crown, that you can still click this, okay? What the crown means is that if you wanted to actually have Canva post on your social media accounts for you, then you would have to subscribe to the pro account version. However, if you just click the calendar, you can still get an idea of some interesting little funny holidays. So like National Hamburger Day. I can see that's on the 28th of May. Great. I'm going to click this. If I click this, here's a ton of different templates already created. Same concept as before. It's got the pro version for the ones that I can't access currently, but I can click this guy because this guy looks like he's going to be more or less free. So I click him in, click into him. I can see that something here is the background here looks like, and the hamburger. So let's swap those out. So let's say cartoon background. Oops, elements. Cartoon background. So let's see all. And you can see here's theirs. Let's see what we can do. Truthfully, this would probably be one of the scenarios that I would go ahead and just pay $1 because I really think that's a cute background. But I'll keep scrolling. Here's one. Let's throw this one in. Click into it. Sometimes if it's set as a background, it doesn't want to do a even swap. So I'm just going to throw this guy in here. And then I'm going to position him to the very back. So I'm going to click to back. And there he is. And then for the burger itself, I'll type in hamburger. And I want it to be graphic. So I'm going to say see all, or you can click it from here. And here's a free guy here. This guy's free, kind of like him. He's got some of the dots that are in the background now. And there we are. So now I have my National Hamburger Day symbol, little sign. And again, I'm going to animate him. Maybe I do party this time. Now, when that just happened, I saw that the background shows up. So I'm going to have to undo that. So let's go to apps. Where's my background? Here's that bulk create that we were talking about. So maybe if I come over, slide this guy over and just delete him. There we go. Now he's completely gone. And if I wanted to make sure that this doesn't flash through, I can right click and I can lock to the page. So now he's locked in place. He can't go anywhere. Now let's click animate. Oh, he's still showing up. Okay, so if that doesn't work, now I'm going to link just these guys. How about that? So you can see I selected those, grabs the background. I'm gonna deselect that guy. Come on. Select all but him. There we go. And now animate. And now he won't be part of it. That's kind of funny. I like that one. White, however you want it to be. Breathe. Great. All right. Maybe we add this guy in here, flicker. Give it a little more interest. Move my thing here so I can click apply. Okay, so we're all set with that. And then again, same concept as before. I'm going to download it and we're done. So this content planner is really helpful because whenever it recommends something, you can automatically see the templates that it's saying go with that holiday. Sometimes you have to be careful because it could be for a previous year, so it may have the wrong date on it. So always make sure that you update the template for whatever the correct date is, just because it might be from 2022 or from before that. World Chocolate Day. It got up Mother's Day, which I thought was funny, but World Chocolate Day, July 7th, but here we can see that it's July 6th this year. So this is likely just an older one. So that is our content calendar here. Now, if you don't want to, of course, again, subscribe to the paid version of Canva, how can we download all these things and then have them go to our, pre-schedule them for our calendar or for our social media? So if you come over to Planner, so I'm on my business page, I'm going to come over to Planner and I can do everything through this here. So I can set all of my pre-scheduled stuff right here. So if I come over, Mother's Day, I think that one's fallen off, but all the different things that I've created on here, it'll put right here. So if you wanted to schedule one, say create post, create story, if I wanted to do that Memorial Day one that I did. And then you'll add video. Now, when you add the video, you have to make sure, it's kind of this weird little glitch, that if you add a video, you have to make sure that you go back in and put the corrected day, because it takes you to a different version sometimes. See how it changed this whole section because I put in a video. It's checking for like copyright infringement and stuff like that. So I would just call this Memorial Day. Description I don't bother with. I'm going to scroll down. And it says you can choose your thumbnail. I always let it just go with the one that's up front, because that's usually with every single portion, every single element shown. So I'm going to click next. Doesn't really need any captions because I don't have any sound, but that's fine. So I'll just click next. And then I want it to show on feed, show on watch, allow for embedding if I wanted to copy and paste the link and put it into an email or something like that. And it's checking right now for copyrighted music again, but I don't have any music or sound on there. So that's not a concern. But if I click share, if I did that now, it's going to, even if I had selected the day and the time that I wanted to originally, if I click share, it's going to share it right now. So now you have to come up to this scheduled portion at the top. This is only for videos. For photos and posts, the day that you select up front will hold on to that same time. But this automatically kind of cancels it out because it takes you to a different screen. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. So if I wanted to say this one, the 22nd or the 29th, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I could put this on here. I could change the time, whatever I wanted to do. All right. So if I come back though, I'm going to go back to my planner. Oops. For anything else, if I create a post and I just add a picture, or I just write a text on here, my schedule now, or if I had picked from that specific day, it'll say right here, super easy. So if I clicked onto this day, lets me pick May 20th at 10, sure. And it's going to hold on to that time. Okay, so that's what you can do to get your free content. And all of that is just through your business page. And that is a free thing that Facebook allows. You can see here though, as well, if I wanted to go ahead and add it onto my Instagram, it automatically adds your Instagram if you're adding a picture, because obviously Instagram is a picture social media network. So if I had added a photo onto this, it would have automatically added my Instagram, but otherwise, if it's just text or if it's video, it's going to keep it on only your Facebook. Another one that I want to point out is this Breakthrough Broker. So grabbing free content from here. A lot of this stuff, again, is going to have things behind the veil of an upgraded package, but you are able to get a lot of free content from this. So if I wanted to just do, I could search in this if I wanted to say holiday or something like that. But the fastest way to grab some of the free content here is I like looking for the social media section or for the GIFs. So here's their stuff here. You can see if it's got this star here, that is going to be not accessible, but this one would be. So this one I could click in, I could edit it and throw this onto my social media. Still make sure, because this is not a Virginia website, that you're following the correct state's DPOR requirements. So you can see that I can add in different stuff here. So I can change all of this. I can edit in the proper email address. You create an account, even if it's free, you can actually put in what your brand is, what your automatic phone numbers and email addresses and all of that stuff are. But this is kind of cute. You change out the brand logo and you've got a cute little thing. And then always just make sure that you post on your business account. So if there is anything that anybody needs, it's one click away, and then you can just share to your personal page as well. So just make sure that you're being mindful of that, because again, this is a national website, so it may not have everything that you need for DPOR compliance. All right, but let's look for, let's go back to the marketing center. Let's see if I can search GIF here. If I need to go down the side, let's just search it here. Real estate GIFs for Facebook. This is what I want here. Real estate GIFs for Facebook 3. So that means there's probably like 3 different sections of this. So I can come over here. That one's kind of fun. What's our name of this? Butts, Beagles, and Babies. So if you're including something about a dog or about children, you're going to get some likes. It's just the name of the game. So I love this. I think this is funny. I could download this one. And it says, hey, by the way, you only have 10 downloads for this month. Well, that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to click, I like to do this at the top of the month. Grab 10 different GIFs that you like, schedule them out on Facebook, and you're ready. And I think GIFs are always funny. Like, that's hilarious. I love this. I'm going to download that one too. Fabulous. And again, scheduling them out. There's Yapstack or In Stock Social. They do GIFs. They also do articles, and they also do funny memes. And I feel that the memes and GIFs are the things that get the most likes. The articles like this one here doesn't get a ton for me personally. That may not be everyone's experience, but my audience does not respond as heavily to my articles. So let's see what that actually looks like. And then I'll come back to YapStack as well. So I'm going to click back to this and go actually see my account. Let's see. All right. So you can see here, anytime you have a YapStack created for you, it gives you, you can always see on Facebook how they're actually performing. So you can kind of compare this to what YapStack is saying as well. So here's an image and it just said the color range in this is amazing. And 61 people had this put in front of them in their news feeds. 3 people engaged, which is these 3 here that gave me some sort of reaction. Not super high, right? 3 reactions, but again, it was put in front of 61 people. And you can kind of see the way YapStack works, which is a free automatic scheduling thing for you. They kind of have these distribution and like they say like how they feel that this stuff is performing in general. So what you do for this is you just sign up, which I can't show you how to sign up because I've already done it. But it basically, I just have the free version. Every week it sends you what it's going to post. I do want to be clear that it is going to post the same things as other people who are using this. So if you're friends with other agents that are using this, it is going to still post the same content, but it doesn't do it at the same time. And it does space the stuff out by weeks or months. So that way, maybe someone follows you and another agent in our office, they're not going to see the exact same thing posted on the exact same day. So I really like that about it, that it kind of mixes things up for people. And then it also tracks who's marking what on different on my different posts. Insights kind of helps you see and this actually is probably correct, actually, I will say, because mine had come disconnected on the last 7 days. So I would actually need to go back last 30 days. Let's see what it says. Performance. Oh, it's not saying, but I can still follow that a different way, which would be on Facebook itself. So we've kind of talked about what YapStack does, but let's look at how it kind of performs. So it's super generic. If for some reason you don't want something, because again, it sends you the weekly, hey, heads up, here's what we're going to post this week. If there is something that does not fit your brand, does not like vibe with you, you can absolutely go in there and edit it out so that you just remove that post for that week. That's totally fine. But you can see here, this is a little image, want to lower your property, and then it has a link. Only 27 people got that one. That one's kind of fun. Check out this AI. 30 people got that one. Oh, hey, you're home early. Funny cat, 46. Got more engagement on this one because it's an animal. Let's just be honest. This one here, once I started spending my own money, I realized my mom was right. We do have food at home. 56 people and more reactions. 8 engagements overall. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like these are some of my lower ones. The ones that have, again, funnier memes typically get way more responses. 46, 2 people. So this one is a good one. I know Baby Yoda kind of falling into that babies subcategory of butts, beagles, and babies. I feel like Baby Yoda qualifies. Whenever he was really popular, that I was getting a lot of things for that. I like his memes were really doing well. So there you go. And again, you can kind of see how things are performing. You can see that maybe you have some of the similar people liking your stuff, which is actually kind of nice because then you can reach out to them and ask them if they are, maybe you prioritize that person that likes every single one of your posts, if they happen to know anybody looking to buy or sell. So that is the main gist of what I wanted to show you today. Does anyone have any questions?
No, not at this time for me. Thank you though. This was great.
Good, 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 good. So stay tuned. I'll try and put that on maybe next week on how to do the bulk upload, because I do think that would be a beneficial thing to, especially for like your reviews from Google. Maybe go ahead and start pushing for those reviews now, so that you can have something that when I release that video, you can share that onto your social media.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'll go ahead and I've already been pushing, but I need to push even more.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any other questions, then I'll hang out for another few seconds. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And then we'll just be in touch via general Facebook. And if you need anything else before I post that video, just shoot me an email.
Thank you.